A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Liolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I do ask that you please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, I discuss all things Dstv Premiership action as I have a pre-match analysis of Maritzburg United versus Orlando Pirates. So coming up into this episode then, the blue team will represent Maritzburg United and then the red team will represent Orlando Pirates. So when you have a look at both teams then, there's quite a few similarities with regards to how they're looking to go about things, their game model, and also then how they look to set up and certain patterns of play as well. So both teams then do play with the back three, and they also both then play with wing backs. And up front then, they do have different variations where they would have three. Sometimes you'd have one and two, synonymous also then to Orlando Pirates on the other side. However, the big difference then is that Orlando Pirates do sit top of the table, whereas Maritzburg United currently sit at 10th. And when you do have a look at it then, Maritzburg United, yeah, they have struggled and they haven't really been able then to fully impose themselves, as we do know that Coach John Matua has been at the helm for Maritzburg United. Do know that he does like to play a fluid, passing, progressive brand of football. However, let's have a look at the personnel. So in goals then, you do have Ndlovu. And then as the left-sided centre-back, you do have Moloisane. We do also know that Keegan Ritchie can look to play within this left-sided centre-back role. And then as the central centre-back, you do have Hlongwa. And then as the right-sided centre-back, you do have Makume. So when you look at this back three then, they become quite key with regards to how they look to build up play for this Maritzburg United side. Oftentimes then, what you do see with the back three is that the central centre-back would normally step up into midfield and they'd be looking to build up in that fashion. Sometimes what you would see then is the left-sided centre-back sometimes can push like that, and then the central centre-back can look to open up like that. Sometimes it can be something like that, but mostly what you do see is the central centre-back looking to step up there, and then the two centre-backs would be looking to open up. So these three centre-backs become quite key then with regards to how they look to build up. And then defensively, what becomes key then is how organized they are, especially then when it comes to playing with the back three. So when you do play with the back three, what you often see is that these two wide centre-backs are often dragged into this area, and when they get dragged into this area, they get dragged into 1v1 defensive situations. So it becomes quite key then that they're able to deal with those, and it becomes quite key then that they don't get stretched too far apart. So very important then with regards to how they go about things from a defensive perspective, and then from an offensive perspective with regards to them looking to build up. It is very key that they are able to ensure that they can progress play from deep pockets of space for this Maritzburg United side. Moving on then right along, when you do have a look at the heart of midfield, you do have Palace, and then you do have Mashikinya. So the key player then here for Maritzburg within the heart of midfield is Mashikinya. So when you look at Mashikinya then, he does play as the deep laying playmaker. So what's key then with regards to Mashikinya then as the deep laying playmaker for this Maritzburg United side, whenever then they are looking to build up, is how then he looks to take the ball deep within deep pockets of space, and how then he looks to progress the ball. And when you do have a look at Mashikinya, this is a player then who has a phenomenal range of passing with regards to his range. So when you have a look at him then, what he can do for this Maritzburg United side, he can stretch play then with those diagonal balls then, whenever then he is looking to stretch the opposition and looking to stretch the game, where then he is able to find his wing back. He can also then find those progressive penetrative passes, which then look to break the opposition lines, which then find his more creative players in between the lines. Such a key player then for this Maritzburg United side, especially then when you consider his game intelligence, how he reads the game, and at times he also becomes quite key then in trying then to break down opposition attacks. So when you do have a look at Given Mashikinya, this is a key key player for Maritzburg United. And then when you move on then, right along and have a look at the next player. So as a 10 then you do have Karim. So this is Kimvwedu. This is a player then who has been very exciting so far with regards to his touches, his skill set, and how then he looks to impose himself within a game of football. So when you do have a look at Kimvwedu, what he's very good at then is taking the ball then within those tight pockets of space, and a player then who is also very creative, and a player then who's also very skillful. So is able to take that ball within those tight pockets of space. Key then with regards to progressing the ball then into the final third. Also quite creative then with regards to how he looks to position himself laterally in between the lines when he does look then to play make for this Maritzburg United side. When you do move on then right along and have a look at the left wing back, you do have Bongani Sam, who becomes quite key then with regards to offering the width within the left wide channel. Also key then from a defensive perspective when it comes to ensuring that he is able to tuck in, because defensively then this system does go to a back five, so it's key that the wing backs are able then to tuck in. However, in possession of the ball, and because then they are quite the fluid, expansive footballing team, is that you do see the wing backs then looking to offer the width high and wide within the left wide channel and then with the right wide channel. So you do have Bongani Sam, who's also quite key then at ensuring that he is able to advance into these pockets of space and being able then to deliver quality balls into the box. Do know that he did also grab a goal then within his first appearance for this Maritzburg United side. On the right hand side, you do also have Brent Theron. So when you have a look at Theron, also quite key then with regards to offering the width on the right hand side and looking then to arrive within that pocket of space and deliver those quality balls into the box. He does have quite a wicked delivery. Also the different types of crosses, because sometimes he can look for those deep crosses. Sometimes he may hit the bar line and look to cut it back. Sometimes he is looking to play across into the corridor of uncertainty, where then he's looking to play it in between the defensive line and the goalkeeper as well, where then his forward line players can look to attack that ball. With Theron then, the difference then with regards to him in comparison to Sam is that he is a lot quicker. And then when you do have a look at up front, you do have Macheke, and then you do have Samu as well. So those are the two then who are tasked with regards to getting the goals for this Maritzburg United side, as they are the strikers up front. And when you do have a look at them then, especially with Samu, he is quite the physical presence with regards to how he's able to hold up the ball for this Maritzburg United side and ensure then that the more creative players are able to join in, very well and able with regards to getting his more creative players into the game. Also then a reference point up front for this Maritzburg United side, and whenever that ball goes wide, he is a player then who's always looking to be a threat within the opposition box. However, when you do have a look at this Maritzburg United side, we do know then that they've got so many other options. Within the heart of midfield, you do have Rowan Human. Up front, you do also have Kongmo, who can always come in. He can play as a 10. That's if they decide to change the shape then to a 3-4-3. Kongmo then looks to play as a 10, either within the left side at half space or the right side at half space. Within the heart of midfield, we also do know that they've got Travis Graham as well. So those are some of the options that can always come off the bench. You also do have Lele Tuskelem, who has a lot of speed and is also then quite the physically dominant player, also very, very strong. So they've got so many options with regards to how they can look to go about things. With regards to the offensive scheme then, in the opposition half, you do then see a 3-2-5, where then both wing backs will be high and wide to offer the width, and then you have the three centre backs, the two then within midfield. Then you would have Karim looking to join in a lot of the times. Sometimes it can look somewhat then of a 3-3-4. However, most of the times then you are looking to have five across the front line, where they are looking then to add numbers. That is what then their offensive scheme would look like. Without the ball then, this Maritzburg United side, what you would see then is that they would then go to somewhat of a 5-4-1 defensive block. That is what they look like then without the ball. At times, it can look somewhat like that, where then you see a 5-2-3 shape. At times, this is what you can also see, where then you see a 5-2-1-2, and especially key then with regards to the wing backs being able to ensure that they can tuck in, and also then making sure that they are able to, as a team, manage the spaces in between the lines, that is vertically and laterally as well. So when you do have a look at this Maritzburg United side, then, like I did mention, a key player then within the heart of midfield is Mashikinya. Moving on then, right along, when you do have a look at Orlando Pirates. So with Orlando Pirates, they've had a great life, and they've had a great start to life within the Dstv Premiership so far. They do currently sit on top of the table. So in goals then, you do have Richard Ofori. As the right-sided centre-back, you do have Olisanda. You've got Nkosinati Sibisi as the central centre-back, who does look to add that extra layer of defence. As the left-sided centre-back, you do have Innocent Mayela. So very similar then to this Maritzburg United back three. Very key then with regards to how they look to build up from the back. A key player then within this back line, I'd say two, has been Sibisi, as I think he's defended really well. Also then a threat within the opposition box, as he's also been able to get a goal. And then when you look at Olisanda with regards to how he looks to progress the ball within this deep pocket of space on the right-hand side for this Orlando Pirates side, with regards to how they look to build up from the back. And also then, as the left-sided centre-back, Innocent Mayela, with regards to looking to progress the ball for this Orlando Pirates side, do know that he is the captain as well. When you move on then right along and have a look at the heart of midfield, you do have Miguel Tim, and then you do have Musele, but we do know that Musele did then pick up a red card in the MTN8 fixture against Royal AM. So I do foresee then either Munare or Mutsware coming into the heart of midfield. So when you do have a look at Miguel Tim then, he's been quite key within the heart of midfield with regards to being able then to progress the ball for this Orlando Pirates side. Also then make sure that he offers them that control within the heart of midfield, how he slows down the game, and how then he's able to pick the right passes. And what's also key then is also his passing range, because he can also then look to play those diagonal balls, and also then play those penetrative passes within the heart of midfield, where then he is looking for his creative players. A player with great game intelligence and great composure and control of a football match as well. Moving on then right along, when you do have a look at the wing backs, you do have Monyane as the right wing back. As the left wing back, you then have Hoto. So when you look at Monyane, this is a player then who's been doing very well for this Orlando Pirates side, as he did get a goal against Royal AM. He also then previously within the Dstv Premiership encounter against Royal AM, he did also get assist from the right hand side. And then when you do move on then right along, last time out, they did start with Lipasa, they started with Nga, and then they had Pule as the number 10. So that is what they started like the last time out, but we do know that they can also play with 2 10s. So if Loch is fully fit, you could have Loch, you could have Pule, and then you could have Nga there, or you can have Lipasa, or you can have Dlamini as one of the number 10s. One thing then, a pattern of play that Orlando Pirates are developing really well then is a combination play between then the number 10 within the half space, the wing back, and then the wing back being able then to ensure that he can cut the ball back where then there is runners. So that is a pattern of play that they're developing. So what you would see then is the number 10 within that half space being able to get the ball. Sometimes it is a give and go. So sometimes what you would see then is that Munyane there would have the ball. He'd play it into there. He'd then look to make the run. Once he gets it, what he's looking to do is play it into that space, and then Moyane is able then to cut it back in. They also do that a lot of the times on the left-hand side as well. So when you do have a look at it then with regards to how Orlando Pirates look to penetrate, they can penetrate from the wide areas. They can also penetrate through the half spaces with regards to half space runs, half space passes, and also then the creativity that they possess within the heart of midfield. With this Orlando Pirates side, they've created so many opportunities. They've just been struggling then to put them away. But when you do have a look at it then with regards to Orlando Pirates, and who I think is a key player then coming up into this encounter, I do think that Pule will be a key player with regards to how he looks to offer that creativity for this Orlando Pirates side, and a player then who would be looking then to also get onto the score sheet as well. Within the heart of midfield, I'd also say that Miguel Tim is also quite key with regards to how he looks to control the game and control the tempo of this encounter as well, especially considering then that it will be a midfield battle, because they play very similar systems with regards to how they look to set up. But when you do have a look at it then, without the ball, this Orlando Pirates side have also been very, very solid. So what Orlando Pirates have done very well under Jose Riviero is that they've been able then to be tactically and defensively disciplined. So what helps then with this Orlando Pirates side is how they look to manage the space in between the lines, that is laterally and vertically as well, and how they've become very difficult to break down and score again. So what Orlando Pirates do very well without the ball then is that they go into that defensive block, which is a 5-4-1. At times, can look somewhat of a 5-2-3 like that, and they're very good then with regards to denying the opposition chances and denying the opposition opportunities where they can create clear-cut chances. So that is what Orlando Pirates have been doing very well, and with regards to this then, it does sort of kill two birds with one stone, especially from Orlando Pirates perspective, when you consider the amount of speed that they do have and the types of players that they have, that they've got players then who are also better suited to a counter-attacking type of game, because then when they do sit deep like that, like I did mention, you do then have Hoto, who is very quick. You've got Pule, who's very quick. You got Lipasa, who's quick. You know, if Loch does start, you also have Loch, who's quick. And then you also have Monyan as well, who is very, very quick. Another thing that has helped then with this Orlando Pirates side is their rest defense. So with regards to rest defense, the picture that you do see then is that they always ensure that they've got 5 players behind the ball at all times. So what you would see then, if for example, they lose the ball within that pocket of space, this is their rest defense. So they would have Nda there, they would have CBC, they would have Mayela, you'd have Tim, and then you'd have Musele. But like I did mention, he's not available for this encounter. So that is the 5 then that they would have. Their rest defense has been quite adequate and has been tactically organized as well. However, at home, do let me know who wins this DStv Premiership encounter between Maritzburg United and Orlando Pirates. So I think that Orlando Pirates will then win this one with a narrow win. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet another special episode of Diski Talk with Luyolo. Signing out.